after the rain, and I noticed the difference.
I had to do that over because I kind of fumbled. And take 18. My name is Kelly Manning, and I was the first director of ViewFinders International Film Festival for Youth. I don't think anyone would debate that, that the medium of film is an extremely powerful one. But what ViewFinders made possible in Halifax is to be able to bring youth, bring students, bring educators in and filmmakers, and provide a forum for the most amazing dialogue and conversations that you won't see anywhere else, and you certainly would be difficult for you to experience in person anywhere else. One of my favorite early ViewFinders memories would be from the first year of ViewFinders, when it actually all came together. And it was the first day of our school program taking place. And we were in the lobby of Empire Theatres. We had our box office set up, and the first busloads of kids started to arrive. And up until this point, you know, we've been doing school visits and talking to educators, and you know, the media response had been excellent. But up until that point, we had our bookings, but will they actually come on the day? And I remember at a certain point, you know, 2 or 3 buses pulled up at once, and streams of kids started flooding into the lobby of Empire Theatres. And I remember Andrew Murphy kind of coming in the main doors around the same time, and all these kids were probably about 3.5 feet high, and there was Andrew kind of floating above these kids. And I sort of looked at Andrew, and we sort of had this expression of, you know, they came, you know, we did it.
Hi, I'm Andrew Murphy, and I'm the programming manager with ViewFinders. You know, it's been interesting. You know, one of my favorite years, I think, that you know, really helped me feel like, you know, ViewFinders had a vision and a responsibility. We bookended our festival with 2 really important documentaries that year, one of which was nominated for an Oscar. We opened our festival with a documentary called War Dance that you know, it had played at Sundance that year, and it was pushing the boundaries. It wasn't necessarily kid-friendly in the younger sense, but it gave such an important message, and I think opened people up to, you know, what was going on in other parts of the world, and you know, telling tales of children on the other side of the world who have gone through a lot harder and very different experiences. And that year we closed with something called God Grew Tired of Us. That was also, you know, an important film about the Sudanese people that walked thousands of miles to freedom. And we were fortunate that a gentleman named Jacob Dang, who was actually going to Dalhousie, who was one of these men. So we brought him in and did, you know, really, I guess, moving Q&A.
As you can see, I am someone's grandmother. My name is Chris Gilbert. I'm the general manager of William F. White Atlantic, and we're proud to be sponsors of ViewFinders. ViewFinders is the beginning of young people thinking that they want to work in some aspect of the media. This is my early scouting, is to be able to see the films from the ViewFinders results. And we can see the very young people who are moving forward and going to be in our business in the future. One of my most favorite memories, and what cinched it for me to have whites always be part of ViewFinders, was the Democracy 250 collaboration with ViewFinders that brought out some of the most extraordinary talent that you couldn't even imagine was occurring with a group of young people.
Hi, my name is Kat Shubali, and I am a past ViewFinder participant. I started with ViewFinders in grade 10, sort of by accident through my teacher Charlotte Riley, who was a wonderful mentor to me in filmmaking, and we met Julie Glazer, who was the ViewFinders coordinator at the time, and she encouraged me to enter our class student films into the top 10 challenge. So we got accepted and we got it screened on the big screen at Empire Theatres, and from there the filmmaking bug bit me. And then from there I went on to win the pitch for production, and I got to make a short film called Bev with mentorship from the NSCC and from ViewFinders. And that was an amazing experience as well, because it was premiered at the Atlantic Film Festival. We got the phone call to say that we had won, and it was myself and my two best friends who had pitched it as the production team. And we just went, well, like teenage girls would, we went nuts and screamed, and everyone we were with was very confused, and then trying to explain that how amazing the opportunity was to make our film, help get the script developed, help scout locations, cast it, make our own film, and have it screened. How amazing that experience is going to be, and trying to get that across. We were just so ecstatic, but it was great.
My name is Daniel Trainer McKinnon, and I've been making films with ViewFinders for 5 years. I can't even describe just the rush that you get from actually seeing your film on the screen, and then you hear people applauding, and you know, people laughing at things that you know, jokes that you actually wrote. Another big moment was when actually my film I Am, I used the John Lennon song, and my mom actually convinced me to write a letter to Yoko Ono to ask for permission to use the John Lennon song, and I got permission. There's actually a young filmmaker who was inspired by my filmmaking and has decided to make films, and now actually has one of his films in the ViewFinders movie challenge. So I'm really proud of him, and that's just, it's such an honor to actually have someone be inspired by it.